Good morning and a very warm welcome. You are watching JanataTelevision and this is English Bulletin with me, Jestha Bhattrai. The top stories first. President Bhandari announces annual policies and programs in the Parliament, says economic prosperity is the main goal. Government to issue a new Nepali map including Lipulekh and Limpiadhura, bilateral treaties with India to be reviewed. Government prepares to alter lockdown modality based on risk analysis. Experts suggest contact tracing and increasing tests. Coronavirus takes a toll on German economy. Situation worsens as financial crisis and recession mounts. And two NFL players charged with armed robbery. Both players accused of robbing guests at gunpoint. And now, the news in detail. President Vidyadevi Bhandari announced government's annual policies and programs in the federal parliament yesterday. Upholding the government's efforts in the last 2 years at the office, President Bhandari stated that the government is determined to contain the coronavirus in Nepal. The government has also announced a new set of priorities in its annual policies and programs for the larger benefit and prosperity of the nation.
शान्ति सुव्यवस्था कायम गरिएको छ। सार्वजनिक सेवा प्रवाहको गुणस्तर वृद्धि गरिएको छ। भ्रष्टाचारजन्य क्रियाकलापमा संलग्न जो कोहीले पनि सजायबाट उन्मुक्ति नपाउने तथ्यलाई स्थापित गर्दै भ्रष्टाचार विरुद्धको कारबाहीलाई तीव्रता दिइएको छ।
Reiterating that government made significant progress in its 2 years at the office, as confirmed by more than 14 indicators, President Bhandari said the premises of the new policies and programs have been altered due to the crisis surrounding the coronavirus. The government will stress on health, education, employment and economic restoration as key areas this fiscal year, President Bhandari declared.
महामारीका कारण सरकारका प्राथमिकता बदलिएका छन्। अबको हाम्रो कार्यदिशा स्वास्थ्य, शिक्षा, रोजगारी र आर्थिक पुनरुत्थान हुनेछ। कृषि उत्पादकत्व 10 वर्षमा दोब्बर गर्न, कृषिको आधुनिकीकरण र व्यावसायिकरणको योजना सहित कृषि पूर्वाधारमा ठूलो मात्रामा लगानी गरिँदैछ।
President Bhandari additionally assured relief packages to industries and enterprises that have been hit hard by the coronavirus. Poor and the needy who have struggled with daily necessities will also be looked after by the government, President declared. The government is all set to announce the budget for the coming fiscal year on 28th of this month. Government has declared that it will immediately publish a new political map of Nepal incorporating Lipulekh, Limpiadhura and Kalapani currently intruded by India. While presenting the annual policies and programs at the joint session of the Parliament yesterday, President Bhandari stated that the government will make all diplomatic efforts to secure the Nepali territories encroached by India for several years. Nepal's claim to its missing lands will be based on concrete evidences such as policies of non-alignment movement and the Charter of the United Nations, President Bhandari said.
मित्र राष्ट्र भारतसँगको सीमा सम्बन्धमा विगत लामो समयदेखि बाँकी रहेका र समयसम्म उठिरहेका विषयहरूको समाधान गरिनेछ। लिम्पियाधुरा, लिपुलेख र कालापानी क्षेत्र नेपालको भूमि हो र त्यसलाई प्राप्त गर्न
Bilateral treaties with India in the past will also be reviewed to secure the missing Nepali lands, President Bhandari read.
लिम्पियाधुरा, लिपुलेख र कालापानी क्षेत्र नेपालको भूमि हो र त्यसलाई प्राप्त गर्न ठोस कूटनीतिक पहल गरिनेछ। तदनुरूप नै छुटेको भूमि समेत समावेश गरी नेपालको नक्सा जारी गरिनेछ।
Government's aim of prosperous Nepal, happy Nepali will also be attained by mobilizing tourism, business and NRN's help despite the COVID-19 pandemic. The document of the policies and programs further reads. President Vidya Devi Bhandari has said that the government's attention is now focused on developing the education and health sector in Nepal. The effect of the coronavirus pandemic has been more severe on the health and education sector, and therefore the government's working direction will now focus on these two sectors, President Bhandari added. She said so while presenting the government's annual policies and programs at the joint session of the Federal Parliament yesterday. According to the plans and policies, all existing government hospitals will be upgraded and a state-of-the-art communicable disease hospital will be built and fully equipped in all 7 provinces. All currently operational zonal hospitals will also be upgraded to a 200-bed hospital in the next year, and basic health posts will be upgraded to a 5 to 15-bed hospitals all across the country, according to the geography and population of the region. President Bhandari confirmed that all Nepali citizens will be included in the government's medical insurance program in the coming 3 years. Until now, only 2.7 million people from 551 local levels have been included in the health insurance program of the government. Similarly, the President also added that all additional expenditures will be cut off to fund all production projects to create an independent economy that will focus on development. President Bhandari confirmed that agriculture and industry, one of the most affected sectors by the coronavirus, will also be prioritized by the government. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back after the break. We continue with other national news. Chief opposition party Nepali Congress has urged the government to bring back all the stranded citizens at the Indo-Nepal border. After the press release yesterday, Congress spokesperson Bishwa Prakash Sharma said that there are thousands of Nepali citizens stranded at the border at the moment, with more than 1,000 arriving in the next 24 hours. The press release has stated that the inability of the federal government to come up with clear policies about the stranded people at the borders has allowed this problem to escalate. The Congress party has urged the government to take this issue seriously, as more people flocking the border areas will also result in many illegally entering the country and thereby increasing the risk of spreading the infection. With the addition of 18 new positive cases, the total number of coronavirus positive cases in Nepal has reached 267. 8 new cases from Bara, 1 from Makwanpur, 4 from Parsa, 1 from Udaipur, 3 from Dang, and a 7-year-old boy from Satungal have been confirmed. Saptungal have been confirmed as positive. At present, coronavirus has been found in 24 different districts in Nepal. Yesterday, a 27-year-old male completed his recovery after 27 days. He was being treated at the Koshi hospital.
कोशी अस्पतालमा रहेका उदयपुर जिल्लाका 25 वर्षीय पुरुषमा नेगेटिभ देखिएपछि कोशीको अस्पतालबाट 27औं दिनमा डिस्चार्ज हुनुभएको छ र सो उहाँ डिस्चार्ज भएसँगै कुल डिस्चार्ज हुनेको संख्या 36 पुगेको छ। आज जम्मा 9 जनामा थप पोजिटिभ देखिए पश्चात कुल संख्या 258 पुगेको छ। उहाँहरूमध्ये मकवानपुरका 37 वर्षीय पुरुष र जसको हाम्रो राष्ट्रिय जनस्वास्थ्य प्रयोगशालामा परीक्षण भएको थियो, त्यसैगरी बाँकेका 8 जना 18 वर्षदेखि 36 वर्ष उमेरका पुरुषहरू हुनुहुन्छ। उहाँहरूको भेरी अस्पतालमा रहेको प्रयोगशालामा परीक्षण गर्दा पोजिटिभ देखिएको हो।
Until Friday, 23,914 samples have been tested by PCR method and 63,085 samples have been tested by RDT method. According to the Health Ministry, in the last 24 hours, a total of 2,008 samples have been tested.
PCR विधिबाट गरिएका हालसम्मका परीक्षणका नमुनाका संख्या 23,914 रहेको छ। आरडीटी विधिबाट गरिएको परीक्षणको संख्या 63,085 पुगेको छ गत 24 घण्टामा PCR विधिबाट थप 1250 र RDT विधिबाट 758 वटा टेस्टहरू भएका छन्। यसरी गत 24 घण्टामा थप 2008 वटा परीक्षणहरू भएका छन्।
Currently, there are 267 people in isolation all over the country, including 27 from Kathmandu. There are 34 cases under isolation in Bagmati province, 22 in province 1, 102 in province 2, 1 in Gandaki province, 108 in province number 5. However, there are no people in isolation at the Karnali region and far western province. The High-Level Coordination Committee for the Prevention and Management of Coronavirus is preparing to alter the modality of lockdown. The meeting of the committee today decided to change the modality of the lockdown, which is set to be effective from May 17. Secretary of the Office of Prime Minister and Council of Ministers Narayan Prasad Bidari informed that the committee has taken recommendations from health experts to classify risk zones and manage the modality of the lockdown accordingly. Keeping the current lockdown in mind, the committee has decided to impose a new model of lockdown based on classifying areas into high-risk, medium-risk and low-risk zones. Additionally, the committee has also decided to send the Nepali citizens stuck in Nepal back to Japan and Hong Kong via chartered flights so they can resume their education and other engagements. Experts have suggested to increase the scope of tests, strengthen contact tracing and to improve quarantine facilities during the discussions. Despite there being no reason to be fearful, the experts did suggest taking precautions and to prepare proper quarantine facilities at the local level for the people who have and will return from abroad. The experts also suggested the government to take scientific decisions and to take recommendations from related experts of the coronavirus field. 28th Memorial Day of People's Leader late Madan Bhandari will be observed all across the nation today. On May 16, 1994, Nepal Ratna Madan Bhandari, along with another communist leader Jibraj Ashrit, were killed after their ship plunged into Trishuli River at Dastunga, Chitwan. Late Bhandari's ideology to achieve a people's multi-party democracy or Janata ko Bahudaliya Janavad Jabaja quickly gained popularity and still remains the main political agenda of the ruling Nepal Communist Party. Albeit NCP have been condemned of weakening the late leader's dream in the recent years. Although several investigations have been conducted following the conspiracy theory of the leader duo's death, nothing significant has been achieved so far. And now the news from Economic Front. JanataTelevision will be organising a pre-budget discussion this Saturday. Current ministers of Nepal government, former ministers, finance experts and representatives from private sector shall be participating in the event. The experts that will present for the event are former Finance Minister Surendra Pandey, former Minister of Agriculture and Livestock Development Khanashyam Bhusal, Minister for Industry, Commerce and Supplies Lekhraj Bhatta, Vice President of National Planning Commission Dr. Puspa Kadil, former Vice President Dr. Govinda Pokhrel and industrialist Pawan Golian, among others. The pre-budget discussions will be aired between 2 and 4 p.m. on JanataTelevision, Radio Janata 89.1 MHz and JanataSamachar.com. Government will make the upcoming budget for the fiscal year 2077-2078 public on 28th of May. Time for a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international and sports news. Welcome back, and now the international news. German economy has contracted by 2.2% in the first quarter of 2020, the worst in more than a decade, BBC reported. Europe's largest economy shrank for the first time shrank for the first time financially since the financial crisis of 2009 due to the global pandemic. German newspaper The Local Day quoted German Economy Minister Peter Altmaier last month, who warned that Germany has been facing the worst recession in its post-war history as the pandemic continues taking toll on global economy. In efforts to contain the outbreak of novel coronavirus, Germany closed shops, factories, industries, restaurants and cafes, leaving many workers with no choice but to stay home from mid-March this year. Experts rely on German economy also dealt a major blow as international trade and travel have been restricted. German newspapers have also cited a statement from the economic ministry that said private consumption, exports and investment in equipment shrank considerably as a result. Earlier, on March 29, Thomas Kaffer, the then finance minister of Germany's Hesse state, committed suicide after extreme pressure on repairing the economic fallout due to coronavirus. Authorities in Wuhan, China, the epicenter of novel coronavirus outbreak, has been making preparations to conduct tests on all 11 million residents of the city as the risk of coronavirus in the cluster increases. Wuhan has already assessed more than 3 million people since April and will focus its testing efforts on the remaining residents. Al Jazeera reported. Wuhan has been facing constant threat of a second wave of infection. London-based news agency Reuters cited the official Xinhua news agency from China that reported priority will go to residents who have not been tested before and people living in residential compounds with previous cases of infections or old or densely populated estates. For fears of second waves, just as businesses and schools reopen, flared at the weekend after Wuhan reported a cluster of cases, the first since the lockdown was lifted on April 8, Reuters added. The infections have been reported as asymptomatic, which means people who had contracted the virus had shown no symptoms, including fever. On May 11, Reuters had cited an internal document to district officials reported that the city planned to conduct the test for the rest of its 11 million residents over just 7 days. You are watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. National Football League players DeAndre Baker and Quinton Danber have been charged with armed robbery for robbing guests at a house party on Wednesday. Police Department of Southeast Florida issued arrest warrants for both players for allegedly robbing cash and watches from guests at a gunpoint. CNN has quoted the police authority that informed Baker is wanted for 4 counts of armed robbery with a firearm and 4 counts of aggravated assault with a firearm. Danber is wanted for 4 counts of armed robbery with a firearm. The players had mugged about $12,000 in cash and watches worth $25,000. Police informed. DeAndre Baker plays as a cornerback for the New York Giants and Quinton Danber as a cornerback for the Seattle Seahawks in the American Football League. BBC has also quoted the Miramar police spokeswoman Tanya Roos, who spoke to the New York Times and said authorities were in touch with the NFL and the lawyer for one player. Neither Baker nor Danber have been yet arrested. A spokesman for the NFL said the league office is aware of the matter and had no other comment, CNN added. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin, and the headlines once again. President Bhandari announces annual policies and programs, and the Parliament says economic prosperity is the main target. Government to issue a new Nepali map including Lipulekh and Limpiadhura. Bilateral treaties with India to be reviewed. Government prepares to alter lockdown modality based on risk analysis. Experts suggest contact tracing and increasing test. Coronavirus takes toll on German economy. Situation worsens as financial crisis and recession mounts. And 2 NFL players charged with armed robbery. Both players accused of robbing guests at gunpoint. And And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website, JanataSamachar.com. We urge all our viewers to follow government directives of the lockdown and follow healthy hygienic practices to keep safe from any infection. Keep washing your hands, keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.